Okay, so today on the podcast, we want to talk about collaborations. What is a collaboration? How can you do it successfully? Why do you even want to do it? And how can it help you grow your business? So today, let's just get started.
Yeah.
What is a collaboration, right? Collaborations are where two business owners come together to support one another's audience and or create a unique offer together. And I think Crystal and I have a lot to talk about when it comes to collaborations because you're looking at one, you're listening to one right now.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So so what are collaborations? They could be guest blog posts. They could be giveaways that you do with another business owner. They could be maybe launching products together, like bundling products or creating something brand new. And sometimes it can grow into a business of its own, like the Creative Boss Method.
Ta-da! Yeah, we totally began through a collaboration. We met actually through a big collaboration that was taking place in a bundle of courses where there was tons of us working together, and reached out to Kayla and, had an idea that I was like, oh, you know what? I'd love to create some custom photos for like a membership. And so naturally I wanted to reach out and was like, you know what? I liked Kayla. I liked her energy. Like we were tagging each other and stuff in the bundle, and she just seemed like a cool person. So I thought, you know what? I'll just reach out and send her a DM, just, say hi, just respond to a couple of posts and stuff, and just kind of see, if she's interested, if she likes me. It's kind of like that awkward first date, right? You reach out and reach out to somebody, you're like, hi. But I did. We reached out to each other and just realized, just through conversation and genuine interaction on Instagram, that we had similar energy and personality. And I think it just kind of started to roll, kind of a snowball effect from there.
Like you said, it didn't just start out of the blue. We had previously worked on a collaboration in a bundle of courses and things. But even before then, I know you'd worked on collaborations and I had worked on collaborations, but I think someone who might be listening today might be thinking, well, that's cool. I've seen people do collaborations together, but like, why should I do a collaboration? Is it good for me in my business? And I think it's good for anyone who's looking to grow their business. And maybe you're even struggling to grow your business. You're not finding people are discovering you as easily. I know that in my business, one of the best things that has grown traffic and sales and word of mouth is collaborations and getting exposed to other audiences who I don't already have as followers. And so I think that if you are looking to grow your business in any way, shape, or form, a collaboration is a good idea.
I think it's an awesome way of being able to get in front of people. And so even just some ways to get started, because some of you might be going, okay, well, I've seen it, I've heard it, I kind of want to do it, but I don't even know where to begin. So I haven't really gone that far. So there's no need to feel like you have to send a cold, awkward email to some random stranger. There are more genuine ways, thank God for social media, because it gives you an opportunity to actually genuinely interact. Like I said with Kayla and I, it was like, initially I was just kind of following her in her stories, and I realized that she had a kid and a cute dog and all these things. And so I just kind of, would just genuinely reply and take an opportunity to kind of warm up the person that you want to work with. So find ways that you can kind of genuinely start interacting with them before you kind of pop the collaboration question. Sounds like you're getting married. But it's like before you feel like, okay, this pressure to reach out to them right away, let them know that you're there. Let them know that you're following, that you're seeing, that you're engaging and you're interested in what they have. And then you can go through and look at a couple of ways that you can ask them for a collaboration without it feeling like such a icky or weird thing to say.
Yeah. So I want to take a pause for a second and go back to some of the things that we first said, which are what types of collaborations you can do, because if you're sitting here thinking of this as, okay, you're right, I am looking for more growth in my business, I want to reach more audiences, so maybe collaborations is the way to go. What types of collaborations should I be looking to do? And we mentioned guest blog posts, bundling products together, but there's a whole list of different ways you can collaborate with someone without it being this lengthy, awkward process. Like, if you're familiar with Pinterest and you've ever worked on like growing your Pinterest audience, you could collaborate simply by sharing each other's pins on Pinterest on your account, so you get cross exposure. So there's so many different ways that you could collaborate with someone without it being this big drawn out legal, like, let's create a product together. So, it could just be as simple as doing Instagram story takeovers with each other, or just posting on each other's Instagram, creating some kind of Instagram content. It could be creating a group board for Pinterest or something along those lines. There's lots of ways to collaborate, but the whole point is to come together and bring your audiences together. And so if this is something that, you're interested in, I would definitely consider hopping into the DMs or sending them an email. The reason why I went off on this tangent is because I remember when I was trying to grow my Pinterest, I was trying to grow my audience. I knew that group boards was like a good thing to be part of. And so I wanted to be accepted on a group board with a bunch of, followers that I currently didn't have. So what I ended up doing was I did cold email someone who I actually kind of looked up to, like they had a much bigger audience than me. And so I emailed them in a very awkward way on purpose. I did it knowingly awkwardly. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I'm gonna make this as awkward as possible so it stands out. So this is gonna make you laugh, and everybody who's listening. Ready? I'm just sharing this because I think it's important.
No, definitely.
So what I did was I sent an email, and the subject of the email was, once upon a time you accepted me on your group board.
And I put my tiara on.
And inside the body of the email it was, and we happily pinned ever after.
Oh my God. I can't.
And then I went into my spiel about, like, I look up to you. I think that our audiences are similar. I have, valuable content to contribute. Here's a little more about me. So of course it was cold emailing. Of course it was awkward, but it also was kind of authentic and genuinely weird. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I am.
Well, it's being you, which I feel like is like an important piece in itself. If it's you to be awkward and weird, I mean, I'm pretty sure I just made like 10 weird faces before we started this podcast. And that's just, Kayla's like, yep, that's Crystal. That's what she does. But, just be you. Like, if you're reaching out to you, it's a little awkward or funny, or you want to make fun with it, do it. Like, that's what people are going to admire.
Yeah, and you're going to attract the right people that you can work with and that are happy and excited to work with you, because that's ultimately what you want. You want to work with people who have a similar energy to you. We're going to talk about that, I think. But
yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
But basically, there's really no reason that you have to be awkward to email anybody. You could just simply get started by befriending them on Instagram or through a Facebook group and just exchanging dialogue openly in the public and just becoming a friend, truthfully. But you could go the route that I went and just be outwardly awkward. By the way, I did get accepted on that group board.
She's like, I'm weird, but I did get accepted. Thank you.
Yeah, but it worked because I knew the person that I was sending it to would appreciate the type of awkwardness that it was.
See, and that's know your audience, right? Like,
right.
You got to know the person. That's why following them also helps, because if you see the content and things they're putting out, ask yourself, like, am I interested genuinely in this person? Because collaborations can be very successful or they can feel like a waste of time. And so to avoid that, make sure that you are comfortable with the person and you understand who they are and what their personality is, so you know whether or not right away you guys are going to get along.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I know that I get questions sometimes about whether or not someone can promote my product as an affiliate, which is another way to collaborate. You know, if you have a product where you are accepting affiliates or you want to be an affiliate for a product, that's another way you can collaborate with someone and have some sort of mutual benefit. But it's as simple as just reaching out and asking if you could maybe write an article for their blog, or maybe take note on a launch that your product might complement to join forces. So if you know that they have an online course that you could maybe offer a bonus to, that would help you promote their course, but also get your content and information in front of a whole new group of very warm leads. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can work on collaborations with people and also mutually benefit, like in a monetary way.
Yeah. Well, I think it even like, interviews and stuff like a lot of people are using podcast formats or, even getting on IGTV and doing videos that way as well. So you can, ask them to be on yours if you have one, or reaching out and pitching them and saying, hey, you know what, I've got some valuable piece of information here that I think would benefit your audience. It's something I haven't seen you talk about before. Would love to see if maybe I could be a potential fit for your podcast, or maybe we could do a joint live together and offer this information to support your audience. That interview format's a really good way of kind of getting the back and forth and also getting to know people really well.
Yeah, I think it's just super important to understand who you're talking to, who their potential audience is, how your products or services might complement each other, and going that direction and looking for things that just like work really well together. Yes.
And I think just, making sure too that you've thought it through. You've kind of thought about the idea, you've thought about what value and things that you could offer, how this would work. Because I've seen in the past where there have been collaborations that I've been a part of, and they're like, oh yeah, I'd love to collaborate with you. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That's great. Okay, let's sit down and talk about this. And they're bouncing around ideas and stuff, but nothing ever kind of stuck. And so taking a time to think about it ahead of time will also show them that you value their time and really what you're trying to do, especially if that person is someone that you want to impress and you want to get in front of and work with. Come prepared and feel confident about what you've got to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think basically we wanted to give you the courage to look for those opportunities, look to help people who have a similar audience to you, and open the door for communication so that opportunities do land at your feet when it comes time to collaborate on something. Even if it's as simple as showing up on Instagram stories, on each other's Instagram story, even if it's that simple. So if you're sincere about this and actually being sincere and reaching out and looking for those collaboration opportunities, you're going to find that the law of reciprocity will kick in, and sooner or later, those that you reach out to are going to return the favor. They're going to think about you more often. They're going to think about you when another opportunity shows up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we feel it's important that you ask yourself when you go to work with someone, is this someone who I should continue to collaborate with? Because I know, like you were saying, Crystal, sometimes it's like you think you're going to work on something. It's really exciting. It's a great idea. But the person that you ended up communicating with, maybe it wasn't the right fit. And so I think some of the things that you have to watch out for is, definitely if you have a similar interest and an energy around that, but also there has to be some urgency around it, right? Some timelines.
Yeah, or your schedules have got to sync up, things around that. You got to have similar personalities in a sense. It just kind of helps click, especially depending on what you guys might want to do together or create, especially if it's like something visual, like if you're doing an Instagram takeover or something like that, and you're going to be taking over that person's account. If they've got a hugely bubbly, outgoing personality and that's not really you, you're a little bit more reserved, a little more quiet. There's nothing wrong with that, but you've got to step up to that level of energy and that personality to represent what they're going to want to see, because they're going to be attracting those people on their page. Open and honest communication, that's huge. Like Kayla and I had a lot of honest conversations when we first started off, because I'm like, look, I'm weird. And, I talk and I make faces, and no, it just, having that conversation and being able to laugh with the person, being able to understand when things have got to be pushed back, or that schedules and things are protected because you've got business to run and family, and respecting respecting and understanding those boundaries and having that open communication is extremely important.
Yeah. And I think if you're looking to collaborate with anyone on a product in particular, like you're coming together to create something new, it is important to be able to balance responsibilities so that it doesn't all fall on your shoulders and it doesn't all fall on theirs. You've got some give and take. And I know for us, we've kind of identified where our strengths are, and we both have equal strengths in certain areas, but we both clearly have a better time, more enjoyable time doing certain things where, like, I'm over here and I really love doing this, and Crystal's over here and she really loves doing that. Having those open and honest conversations and communicating about what we enjoy doing in our business and what we don't will help you find that right balance. I know we read a book together.
Yeah, because it was talking about the different roles as entrepreneurs that you naturally tend to fall into. When we took this test, it gave us kind of a breakdown of like, okay, here's where you naturally fall as a business owner. Here are the strengths and things that you have. So this role would probably fit best for what you're doing, and here's what it would be.
The book that we read together was Rocket Fuel, actually.
That's what it was.
And
That's
we did end up looking at Traction, which is another book by the same people, I believe. But there's two different types. There's the visionary, and then there's the integrator.
So she's more of the visionary and I'm more of the integrator. So I'm very much like the doer. I'm like, let me write a list. Let me get some dates on this. Like, let's put this in order. We need an execution plan here. And Kayla is like ideas. And yeah, I mean, you could talk a little bit about that, but
well, so
I'm like, and snooze.
Yeah, no, I know that you are like that as well. Like, you have ideas and are creative just like I am. And I also like structure and timelines and things like that. But where our strengths really lie are in our separate areas or zones of genius. So when you're working with someone, if you want to go down the path of bigger collaborations, more in-depth products and launches, it would be a very good idea to go ahead and grab the book Rocket Fuel and read it together, because we found through the test that I'm visionary and she's more the integrator. And really what a visionary would be is someone who thrives in the idea state and is like constantly moving in that direction, like new ideas, new creativity, but gets really bogged down and feels very heavy when it comes to timelines and actual execution of the ideas. And so it really, I think, has helped us a lot knowing that about ourselves.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
It's the opposites attract is actually like a thing. Like they say naturally in a company or an organization that you generally want to have people who balance both sides, so that you have someone who can be more in the clouds with ideas and stuff. Like Kayla knows I'll laugh every time because she's like, I've got an idea. I'm like, okay, here we go. And and then there's more of me. I fall more to that area, like of structure and organization and timelines and things like that. It doesn't mean that I don't sporadically have my own ideas and things. Like Kayla said, obviously I'm running my own business, but just learning those things about yourself is really fun, because then when you're working with somebody, then you kind of know naturally where everybody falls, and it kind of becomes a joke and a good way to get along and just create that relationship when there's those give and takes.
Yeah, it becomes a good checkpoint too, where it's like, hey, this is my thing that I enjoy doing. We agreed that this is what I would be doing and be in charge of, and you get to go do what you enjoy. So it does help, though, before you get to that point, to have those open and honest conversations.
Absolutely. Yeah. We we definitely have our moments. Kayla's like, no, I'm the idea creator. What are you doing? No, it's definitely a great collaboration. And that's why for us, it was very important to have this episode and to talk about that, because collaborations can be a great thing to do, and they don't have to start off as some big, huge, scary thing. It can be the small pieces and the things that get you forward to help you build that audience and start finding more of your people and people that you work with and you drive with, and stop making small business ownership feel so lonely. And speaking of which, in the heart of collaboration, we want to encourage you today to screenshot this episode and tag us at the Creative Boss Method over on Instagram. We would love to reshare that and give you a quick shout out. Let us know what you took away from this episode. If you have finally got the courage to get out there and find someone that you can collaborate with and reach out to them and get that started. I know for us, we also promote collaboration amongst our members in the Creative Boss Society.
Yeah, they're currently working on their collaborations to support the growth in each other's businesses, to increase sales and revenue. And so we're bringing everyone together inside the Creative Boss Society to truly grow sales and revenue in their business, but do it in a collaborative way. Yeah.
Yep. So if that sounds like you want to jump on over, I'll make sure to link that below. You can go to the creativebossmethod.com/membership, but I'll make sure to link that in the show notes so you guys can have access to it, because we'd love to see you over there. But in the meantime, tag us over on Instagram. Let us know what you think of the episode, and we will see you guys soon.